It isn't audible, is it? It isn't, Nick, right?
I cannot hear it, but
not sure if people can hear it or we're just kind of looking at the visuals. No? Let me just play. Not yet?
no.
So Malavika,
Now?
you can try from the phone itself.
It isn't audible, is it? Okay. All right, we'll start.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, sorry, Nikki.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for you guys being such a patient and lovely audience this evening. We started with a little of technical hiccups. I'm really sorry. This is part and parcel of life. So my laptop crashed last moment, so I had to switch it to my son's laptop, and I'm just still trying to get used to his settings and gadgets, which is a complete disaster. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for all of you for being a part of this evening. Welcome. My name is Malavika. I'll be the host of the evening for you. And I have my entire India Market Entry team. I have Ayan and Vivek with me. And of course, we have a very, very special guest, Nikki, all the way from Bulgaria. So Nikki is the master trainer for SmartyKids, who has really been kind enough to spare some time with us this evening and explain what is SmartyKids and how different it is from the entire Abacus system, what we see and witness in India at the moment. So certain ground rules which before when we kickstart. So India Market Entry is a consulting firm wherein we do onboard, or we help a lot of international brands to penetrate Indian market. And from the journey starts from in there, wherein we are taking care of this, go-to-market strategy, sales, business development, after sales, so on and so forth. Just to let you know, we are precisely not into franchising space. Why am I'm specifying it? Because you might come with us, some kind of expectations that we are into franchising. No, we are not into franchising. We are beyond franchising, and you will understand how it is going to help and kickstart and boost up your current business, or if you are a teacher or a tutor or an educator. So this evening, we will keep all of you mute at this moment of time. Once we are done with the presentations, you will have enough time to unmute yourself. Obviously, come on video, ask questions that you have. That can be technical, that can be related to Abacus, that can be related to the levels that what we teach, and of course how you want to acquire and how you want to collaborate with us. So stay tuned. It's going to be very, very interesting. We will trying to make it as interactive as possible. And interim, just to let you know, the chat box is open. So if any case you have any questions, if you're not able to hear me, if you have a technical difficulty, if you want to know something, if you want to ask something to anybody, before even you forget, please feel free to type in the chat box, and we will address each and every queries that you have for today. Okay, so we'll kick in for a small presentation. I will try to make it not as elongated and not boring at all. And hopefully you will learn and you will have certain takeaways before you leave us for this evening. So the presentation begins now. So India Market Entry it's situated in Faridabad, Haryana. That's our physical office. And we are all working remotely for the organization. SmartyKids is personally one of my favorite brand that we have onboarded so far. Just give me a moment. Isn't allowing me to share. You can see my screen, right?
Positive.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay. So in your market entry, what we have done, we have started an initiative called as Knotral Trainings. That stands for Knowledge Trade Link. The entire idea to launch this training program to make sure that we are able to deliver or educate or uplift the current education system, or I would say people who are related to the current education industry and system. So Abacus, it's a household name. Nobody needs an introduction. What is Abacus? But we, SmartyKids, specifies or our expertise stays in mental arithmetic. Okay. Now, mental arithmetic is a terminology which is used globally, and it is way beyond than Abacus. And Abacus is a part of it. It's a technique of how you learn mathematics. I'm sure you or your, somebody at your home, your kids, your neighbors, your cousins, somebody has been through Abacus lessons some point of time in their life. And trust me, it is still very, very popular and something which the students or the parents aspire for their kids to learn Abacus. Now, the entire journey begins, and we are proudly, we can tell you we are the only organization or the company which caters from as early as from age 4. So we are going to take care from age 4 to age 12, which is one of the most strongest USPs that what we have in SmartyKids. Of course, regardless and nevertheless, to say it is an international brand, it is headquartered in Bulgaria. The entire team is headquartered in Bulgaria, and they are, of course, apart from Abacus, they are running other mental arithmetic programs as well. So we definitely want to customize the entire program based on who you are, where you're from, and how you are going to benefit, and what is your expectations from this entire presentation, or spending your 1 hour. So let's add some value. Let's make it much more incited what you're looking for. So a quick poll that my colleague has launched, which is who is in this session. So is it a teacher? Are you a school representative, after school or a learning center, or if you're an education solution reseller? And I see a competition which is going on between after school and education reseller. That's fabulous to know that. We don't have any school representatives so far. So just a couple of more seconds, then I request you, all of you, to actively participate so we can actually help you to understand and design the entire presentation based on who you are. So it will help you. You would be able to resonate more. You would be able to get more value addition in there. All right. I think the winner is After School and Learning Center. And I understand the reason why you have selected, and most of the people who are inclined towards adding Abacus to the lesson plans, because obviously in India precisely, Abacus is something which is an add-on activity, which is actively used in the evening hours and on the weekends based on the students' availability. So thank you so much. The clear winner is After School and Learning Centers. We'll just move on to the next slide. So what is SmartyKids? We will talk a little bit about the history, which you should know to understand where you're coming from and who are you talking to and who we are basically. So SmartyKids is a global Abacus and mental arithmetic education network, and it is focused on cognitive skills development. But trust me, it is beyond cognitive skills development. It takes care of your fine motor skills. It takes care of your right and left brain development. It also develops a lot of confidence, because if a kid is able to do well in their regular academics, it always add value in their life online, and I would say in education or in a personality development overall. SmartyKids has 350 plus centers and counting. We are active in 11 plus countries while we speak at the moment, and we have 20,000 happy Abacus learning students and children enrolled globally. And of course, it is 1,000 internationally trained educators, and we have one of them this evening with us. These trainers are very, very special because they go through a rigorous training and certification program to become a master trainer. And we currently not associated, but we had an accreditation from Sama Global, which is a very, very valued and very prestigious association in the world of Abacus. It's a globally proven methodology adapted by Indian classrooms. So let's see what's the next slide all about. All right, we have with one more poll, and I promise it's not this last one, it's the second one. So what is the biggest challenge that is in your context? What you feel, please, put your heart out for us to understand what is it that you are seeing on a daily basis. So low student focus and concentration, fear of math, lack of confidence, difficulty in mental calculation, low classroom engagement, and if others, please mention in the chat. I'm sure all of you who are a part of this, you have been a student at some point of time. You can actually relate to what was your experience when you were doing your mathematics classes. And obviously the kids that you're catering to, the student that you are catering to, even if you're a reseller, the people, the school that you're visiting, and what is the genuine, vibe, the feedback that you get from the students. And surprisingly, it's a mixed bag of reactions which is coming in, which is low student focus, fear of maths, difficulty in mental calculation, low classroom engagement, and others you have to specify in chat. Now, I completely agree because especially after COVID, I have seen a lot of students struggling with absolute basic mathematics, as simple as addition, subtractions, multiplication, divisions. Those are the core, those are the pillars of mathematics. And once a kid is not able to perform academically, obviously their confidence kind of shaken up, and gradually it impacts their overall academic performance. So thank you so much for that input. I think it is ballpark. I understood that it's going to, or rather the biggest challenges in your context that you're currently facing. Moving on to the next slide. What we are proposing, which is Abacus and retail book model. So I just mentioned people who are joining it late. I did mention in the earlier part of the call that we are not into franchising space. Why? Because first of all, franchising has a lot of baggage to it. I would say the royalty, the recurring payments that has to be done. There's a lot of, I would say, accountability, owners, answering, structure. There are a lot of things that you have to follow. What we have understand, India market entry team, when we launched Smarty in India, we started in with as a franchising model. But over the period of time, we understood that Abacus or especially Smarty is something cannot be a full-fledged, source of revenue for anybody. It can be a add-on or a passive source of income for someone. Why? Because say, for example, if you're a school teacher, in the morning hours, you're occupied in school, evening you can spare for your Abacus classes. If you're running a preschool, if you're running any kind of after-school activity centers, these are the time when the students are available. So we switched and we tweaked it into an entire retail book model. This is I would say a call that we have to take based on the feedback, based on the suggestions, based on the people that we were communicating on a daily basis. That retail book model is much more simplified. Now, what is it in for you? We will talk about this later in detail, in the later part of the call. But in short, SmartyKids combines Abacus-based mental arithmetic with, of course, retail learning model that is easy to implement. The transitioning or the implementation is something which we want to make it very, very easy. It can be you, me, anybody. If we want to kickstart the classes, we can do that without any lot of due diligence, which might delay or rather the focus kind of moves out off the radar. So how learning works here? So physical Abacus plus visualization plus mental calculations. Well, Nikki would be a better person to actually give and emphasize and tell more about it. Apart from that, what we have to offer is a structured progression across defined learning levels, gamified and thematic lesson design. So we are not talking about something which is like any other Abacus centers, what you see where you walk in, but it is gamified and thematic. The couple of reasons I'll tell you why it is important, because students or kids love games. They love animated characters. They are able to stay focused and retained while they're using such characters. And obviously, we have built in a beautiful theme around it, wherein they're absolutely kind of stuck and obsessed with the entire, the storyline of it. Now, retail book model, there is, of course, I said no franchisee, there is no royalty. The center purchases premium student kits and teach independently with full curriculum support. So we'll get into the next slide. Now, our program, SmartyKids program, is designed into 7 levels. It's exactly like the name says, SMARTY. It's just that A has A1 and A2. For you to understand, for the teachers or the educators who have joined in, ballpark, any of the level takes 3 to 4 months for a completion, depending on, of course, holidays and, breaks and summer breaks and so on and so forth. But ballpark, it's 3 to 4 months, which it takes for you to actually complete one particular level. I would like to add something which is very, very critical for you to understand. We have a lot of educators, a lot of existing Abacus centers who have switched to SmartyKids because of an excellent curriculum which has been designed. And it's not me. The testimonial has come from parents and students that every level they're learning something new. Every level is as exciting as any other, and it keeps them absolutely hooked to learning more and more, which directly or indirectly helps you to retain the students for a longer duration period of time. Without delaying further, so we have the speaker of the evening, Nickolay. All right, I'll stick to Nick. So he comes with an over of 5 years of experience working with children people. He loves what he does, and he's currently teaching since 2024. And obviously, I let him to do the rest of the introduction and take it forward from here. Nick, over to you.
Thank you for the proper introduction.
Thanks.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, yeah, I'm a current teacher in one of our centers. I teach English and mental arithmetic. Welcome. Thank you. Hello. And other thing about me is that basically, when you have someone who isn't eligible to teach up to that point, they have to go through me and through my onboarding skills, let's say like that, or experience, and we together basically learn what they need to know and how they have to knowledge transfer these things to the kids. I might say I'm very good at what I'm doing, so we will do very good work together. And I want to share my screen so we can have a better look of what our program actually looks like. Can I have a thumbs up if we can see the presentation? Yes, okay. Okay, so let's talk about our program. As Malobika said, we target children between the age of 4 and 12, but if we have someone who is 13 years old, we don't just say you're not eligible to participate in our program. We can do something like let's say if the parents really want it and the kid, we can always join them. It's not something that is mandatory to be 12 years old at tops. That same goes with the 3 years old, but there is it's a little catchy because some of them cannot talk properly or write the numbers or read the numbers even. So it's a bit more difficult with the 3 years old, but 13 is absolutely fine. So it's just like age between 4 and 12 is the perfect zone. Okay, let's continue with some of the benefits which kids actually acquire when they go through our program. So one of the leading curriculums worldwide is our SmartyKids mental arithmetic program, and the result children achieve is one of them is speed mental calculation. So as you know, we have so many exams which children are insanely good at, and they can quickly solve them, and they don't even realize how quick they are in comparison of an old person or just a grown man. They improve their self-confidence, their memory, their concentration, and attention development. If you have a kid who is 4 years old or 5, their concentration, their attention is a bit lacky, I might say. So here we develop them as a way of they learn how to learn, let's say like that. So they build a habit of learning and attention focusing method. They also build their logic and analytical thinking, because just by doing the things you're supposed to do in the abacus and the things you're supposed to do with the mental card, which is actually a card we use in order for the kids to learn how to solve mathematical problems mentally. They really have to develop their thinking, and it's actually a process that they don't even think about it. They just develop it, and we actually build interest in math. So it's not that related between the school math and our programs math, because they are numbers, yes, of course, but it's nothing in comparison of how good actually our mental arithmetic program is in comparison to these in the schools. Some of the advantages is actually bright corporate textbooks, which you've seen actually. Malobika showed a slide. We have an online training platform, which is actually one of our unique points. We can show after the presentation. Maybe we try again to show you we have a 4-minute long video. Yeah, we can show it. If we don't have an audio, it's okay. They can just see what it's about. Next up, we have gamification and animation. Again, one thing that Malobika talked about, I will show you further on in the presentation. When we talk about it, I will show you some of the examples on the camera, so you can just see them, and some of the stickers and so on. Competent and experienced teachers, because they go through me, so they're of course going to be competent and experienced. Regular competitions for our students. We will talk about that also later in the presentation. What about the course length? So our course length is approximately 2 years, but depending on the kid's age, it might take even more or even less, because I'll give you an example. In the 4th level, or basically the R level, SMAR, the first 5 lessons, which we programmed for the preschool kids, that they still don't know the multiplication table, they have 5 extra lessons which they need to go through in order to start the level. I'll talk about that further again also, but we actually group the kids into separate groups. So we have a preschool group where children attend our classes twice a week for 60 minutes. And we have a school group where kids are obviously in the age like 7 plus, where children attend our classes for 105 minutes. Okay, next up, let's talk about our SMA levels. Here we learn how to calculate accurately using the abacus. So basically we add or subtract numbers. In the 1st level, we do it directly. So in the S level, we learn how to do it directly. So we don't have any formulas. We don't have any complications. We don't have anything which the kids need to go through to finish the level. So it's just a direct adding and subtracting with the abacus and through our mental card. And if the kid is actually good enough, they can even start doing it mentally. The 2nd level, the M level, we actually start applying some formulas. We developed our formulas as the name small friends. So these are the easier part of the formulas, which are learned in the M level. So basically the 2nd level. Solving complex arithmetic tasks in short time is one of the benefits. As I said, it's not the result. It's just a benefit which the kid develops. So in the A level, the 3rd level, as Malobika said, we have 2 parts. So as length is actually the longest from all of them. There we learn about our big friends formula. So we have small friends formulas, we have big friends formulas. The big friends formulas are, as expected, a bit harder than the small friends. But that's why we develop 2 parts, because we have to make sure that the kids learn properly how to add and subtract using our big formula. Fine motor skills development, photographic memory, concentration, and attention improvement. Noticeable progress in the articulation of speech, because pupils need to learn how to express themselves And actually, this will help them even in school or out of school things that they're doing. It doesn't matter if it's sport, it doesn't matter if it's something like a cultural attending course, something like that. So we continue with the fourth level, which is the R level. You can see the textbook, how it looks like, and the opened book is actually the abacus. So basically, as I said in the beginning, if a kid doesn't still know the multiplication table, it's okay, because we developed 5 additional lessons for the teacher to learn the table with the specific kid, because that's one of the things that the kids have to know in order for it to continue on with his education with the program. Then we learn fast application of the multiplication table. Yeah, as I said. So what is the result? Agile mental calculation, significant improvement of analytics abilities, independence, and self-esteem. Then we have T level, basically the 5th one, where we learn how to divide numbers. So we have a division. Here we learn dividing using, of course, the abacus, and how to apply the respective formulas for the current level. It takes just a short time for the child to solve any arithmetic task at school, and many children get awarded at competition and Olympiads. That's like a result, because if a kid goes to the stage where it finishes R level and goes to T level, the kid is basically a master at solving with the abacus. So adding and subtracting is a piece of cake for them. And then we just go above the piece of cake. We go to multiplication, we go through division, and then we continue with our final level, which is Y, basically the 6th one, where we have negative and decimal numbers, and also square roots as a final. Here we learn how to calculate negative and decimal numbers and square roots, of course. As a result, we have leadership skills, abilities to solve any task at school and outside school, as I mentioned, improved performance at school also. It doesn't matter if it's mathematics, if it's just every subject. We don't have something in particular. So basically, the textbooks, each model offers the following course of materials. We have a student's notebooks, we have textbooks, we have a gamification sheet, which I will show you in a second, and some stickers for the kids to actually add to the gamification. So the textbooks, all of them takes about 3 to 4, maybe 5 months to for the kid to finish a level, except the A level, which as we said is 2 parts. So we have A1 and A2. It maybe takes up to 9 or 10 months, depending on the kid. And we never promise the parents of how much time exactly does the kid need to achieve their goal of completing the level. We have, of course, level exams, which children need to take in order for them to be certificated. We have certificates, and by acquiring the certificate, by passing the exam, they move to the other level. Okay, let's talk about the gamification. Your child will never get bored at SmartyKids, and that's a fact. The learning process follows an intriguing storyline. We have games, we have tasks, and we have awards. We solve the main issue of engaging the children in the learning process. So we actually have a slogan which we really like to use, and it is, we learn while we are playing, and we play while we're learning. So all of the gamifications, they're not just made to make the kid want a sticker or make the kid just to see what it looks like. They actually make them understand the thematic and the like the storyline behind the gamification. So I want to give an example. Here we have the, oh, give me a second, you don't see it actually. Okay, now we can see it clear, I think. So this is actually the S level gamification. So the first one, where we sent our hero Smarty to the cosmos. So that's how it looks like. You can see here. So basically the task here is for each and every kid to acquire stars, which are used to finish the path, which eventually becomes a board game. So when the kid completes the whole level and acquire all the stickers, which are for the level. So basically every circle box here has a sticker for it. So basically after each lesson, the children chooses what sticker they want to add to their collection. And when they finish the whole gamification, it becomes a board game. Okay, so that's the S level gamification where we learn about the cosmos. We have the second level gamification where we have superhero cards. Here are the stickers, you can see. So we have like superheroes, and here in each and every section of the boxes, we actually have like an emotional intelligence. So we have hearts, we have stars, we have lightnings. So basically here kids learn about the emotions. They learn some things that are controllable, some things that are not controllable, and how to measure their emotions. So that's how it looks like. We have superheroes. That's the whole board, and these are the stickers with each and every superhero. Okay, next up. So that was the second level. So we have the M level. Next up, we have the A level. So the third level, the longest level actually. Here, the thematic is ocean. So basically, Smarty goes to the ocean or to the Bermuda Triangle, and he needs to escape from there. But how can he escape from there? So he gathers a crew. You can see here, he gathers a crew by, again, using stars. You can see all of the stars they need to acquire. They can acquire maximum of 3 stars for a lesson. So basically, when they gather a proper ship, or like you can just use a dock, I guess. But when you finish the whole gamification here on the third level, you gather a crew, you gather a ship, and you learn some theoretical ocean-wise things, which are actually not known to the regular person. And last but not least, actually my favorite one is actually the fourth level gamification, the R level, which is, I'll show you, is a blank city, I might say. The storyline here is that basically the mayor escapes with the money, and Smarty and his friend Abadoc needs to save the city. So with the help of the SmartyKids, you use here, you can see on the back, you have like 2 spots for coins, or some buildings needs 3 coins. So by gathering the coins, by gathering the knowledge, kids actually build their own city right here. The gamification comes with of course, the buildings as a sticker. So basically, the SmartyKids needs to help Smarty develop a brand new country with no mayor, with no escaping, with no thieves, and they just built a very synchronic and very beautiful town of their own. I think that's all about the gamification. And the other unique point I wanted to talk about is about our online platform, which Malovika, maybe you can try to share your screen, and we can give it a go to try to
Let me just try.
it. Yeah.
I love the last bit. A place without any mayor, anything.
Yes.
Much needed. Okay, let me just try. Hopefully this works.
Well, if we don't have an audio, I think it's okay for them to just see what
It's
it looks
audible?
like.
Not audible.
I cannot hear it. I don't know. Can you type in the chat if you can hear it?
Now?
I
It
personally
isn't
don't.
audible. No.
No.
No, no luck. No clue what's going on. I'm really sorry. I wish I could actually show you the video. It's really, really interesting. Maybe you just ping me directly and I'll share that videos with you. Adding on to what Nick was actually talking about is the books. These are why I'm specifying and actually showcasing the books, because these are absolute premium books that what Smarty has to offer. We are tied up with India's or Asia's biggest publishing house, which is India Today Group. They are our partner who take care of the printing. This is important for you to know because the premiumness, if you see the pictures, these are all colorful. We have made it as interactive as possible. The only reason being, if you keep it really black and white, a student tends to lose interest, which we really don't want. I mean, see, in an Indian mentality or an Indian parent's mentality, that once my kid come back from school, I'll put him into different kind of, after school activities. And it is not precisely as Abacus. It can be sports, it can be music, it can be anything for that matter. So they want the kids to be engaged and doing something fruitful and adding on, value. Now, you as educators, resellers or distributors, or if you are into the space of education, you want the student to be retained for a longer period of time and they complete more levels or maybe the entire level if it's possible. So, these books and the gamification cards, what Nick shows you, I have just one of them. These are, it works like magic. Kids love it. They want to come back. I have, one of our partners based out of Ahmedabad who says the kids wants to come back. Yes, Sheetal, I'll come back to the books. We'll talk about the commercials in a while. Thank you so much. So the kids want to come back to the classes every time, and even on vacations and festivals they want to come back and make sure that they're continuing with the classes. Apart from that, this is a very, very important thing that I'm going to talk about is a Smarty repository. Now, what is this? For example, once you are actually associating with us, you get an access to more than 500 plus activities that would be shared with you in Google Drive, which is apart from Abacus, there are tons of other activities that we have summed up to make sure that the kids are having an overall development, which is taking care of their writing, their calligraphy skills, their puzzles, problem solving skills, everything is taken care of. So it is not only mental arithmetic or Abacus, it's an overall development that what we're focusing on. Now, coming to the key features, I think Nick has done a fantastic job actually telling every precise the structured level, what's the thematic presentations, and all the things has been kind of covered up. One thing which is very, very important and critical for you to know, because you are going to associate with Smarty, is the training. The teacher's training is one of our strongest point and strongest selling point, if I may say so. Why? Because we want to make sure that the impart of what really the core value or the core context or the quality of content which Smarty team has developed over the period of time, and they're still improvising on it, not settling for less. They want to make sure that the training is imparted, directly with the same kind of quality and intense. Now, if you are a teacher, if you want to hire somebody, you can hire somebody, you can tell them, you can train them, but the main training or the main certification retains with you, apart from the premium, printed student kits. The last poll, now promise this is the last poll for the evening. We want to know, after looking at the entire presentation, which feature do you find most valuable? The gamified and the thematic learning approach, structured learning levels, digital practice platform, okay, international certification credibility, and retail model. Okay, I don't see anybody is intrigued with the retail model so far. Structured learning levels. Yes, thank you so much. It is really, really important to make sure that whenever you're actually rolling out an entire academic year, it has to be structured, gamified, thematic, digital practice platform, international certification. Fabulous. That makes my life easy, that nobody is actually excited or intrigued about the fact that a retail model is something which is there. So yeah, That's fantastic. All right.
I just want to say something for a second. Yeah, about the structured learning levels. I just and lessons. I want to talk about the lessons. So every single level has a developed lesson in each of one of them. So basically, each and every lesson is developed for the teacher to make it easier for them to transfer the knowledge needed for the lesson. So they don't have to think that much about it.
Yes, yes. I think that's very, very important, Nick. Thanks for adding that point, because a lot of time when the teachers are actually, walking into the class, they don't know how to teach, how to start, how should I actually, start with the lesson. So it is not only a win-win situation for the students, but also for the teachers, wherein you really don't have to brainstorm and you really don't have to think hard that, all right, so now what I'm supposed to teach. No, everything is laid out, that simplified to make your life easy and focus on the main core value, which is Abacus and Metal Arithmetic. Thank you so much for everybody for putting in those votes in there. Although I don't see 100% participation, but I'm still happy. At least we got the idea of, what exactly that people are looking for and what is it that is going to interest you further. Now, coming to the value proposition, so Sheetal will come to the pricing and the commercials part of it, but this is very, very important for you to know and understand what is the value prop for a teacher vis-a-vis what is the value prop for the parents or the students. So for the teachers, clear lesson structure, which just Nick specified, ready to use lesson plans and activities. So you just walk in, you don't have to make any prep, sitting and spending additional hours. No, you don't have to do that. Improve classroom engagement, because that is what actually helps the teachers to know that you're motivated. International training and certification, of course, that's one of the key factors that keeps on, getting the teachers back to the class time and again. Confidence in delivery, a global curriculum. Now, the value prop for the schools, after schools, and edupreneurs. So all the resellers who have been part of this call today, I think this would be the value prop that can actually help you to, kind of see how you can penetrate or how you can actually reach out to the outreach activity, basically. So it is a premium international skill-based program. It's improve student outcomes and parent satisfaction. Differentiate your institution with global pedagogy, low operation complexity, and scalable model for admissions growth. The main part that we want to make it as less complicated as possible, be it for teachers, be it for parents, be it for the school people, be it for a reseller, a distributor, a after-school activity center, a preschool owner. We want to simplify the entire execution part so you can focus more on education and your revenue part of it and not the nitty-gritty of it. We'll take care of that, don't worry. So for resellers, international brand growth with strong credibility, ready to deploy curriculum and materials, structured onboarding and training support, clear implementation framework, and of course, long-term partnership is what we are looking for over the period of time. Implementation framework, we have kept it very, very simple. I'm rushing through the last few slides because we want to open up the floor for the question answers, which is very, very important and critical. So acquire student kits and technical teaching resources, train international teachers, training certifications, demo sessions, enrollments, regular classes. We provide support at every stage. That's very, very important because one thing is very important, guys. I can give you the best of curriculum. I can give you the best of, I would say, content. But if you are not very sure and you need a certain kind of a mentorship or a guidance, you can fall back on us. You can count on us. So for consultation, and if you want to run a pilot program or if you want to do a full implementation, please scan the QR code and you can use the link in the chat box, please, to register and to have a candid conversation, a one-on-one conversation wherein we can address all of your questions. I look forward for all of you who have certain questions, who want to talk more about it, who want to know how you can actually implement in the real time in your classroom. I would really request all of you to fill in the, use the scanner, or you can click on the chat box to, or rather click on the link on the chat box and fill that out. Nevertheless, we do have a participation certificate for all of you. So whoever is a part of this I need one as well. So whoever is actually kind of a part of this evening, we would love to give you a certificate. We would love and appreciate your presence and a participate, certification, which actually talks about that you have, being a part of this evening, you have spent your real valuable time and you have learned something for sure. Thank you so much for joining for SmartyKids Certified webinar. I will open the floor for all the question and answers. Now, you can start typing in. If I'm able to, no, I cannot. Just
So,
a
Madhavi, can
second.
we please keep the screens showcased, the QR code screen where the
Yes, we'll do that. Sure
or
thing, I'll do that.
part, yeah, and also for the certification.
Yes, I'll do that. Either or, I'll do that. So
Yeah.
now the floor is open to all of you. Whoever have any questions, please, you should be able to unmute. You can, switch on your video if you would like to have an interactive discussion. You can ask as many as questions that you want. It can be related to Smarty. It can be related to the implementation part. It can be related to technicality of anything that you have your questions that you can, kind of ask me. Now, coming back to one of the first question I think Sheetal has asked is, just a moment, cost of the books. Okay. Now, the cost of the books when you're looking at a B2B perspective, if you are looking to onboard and kickstart your journey, the onboarding cost, the starting cost starts from 90,000 rupees. So your initial investment is 90,000 rupees. But for the people who are signing up for this particular webinar and you're filling out of the form, you get a flat 10% off. So basically your cost becomes 81,000 rupees of your investment. In turn, what you get is a 45 set of premium books. 45 set, I mean, it's kits. So one kit kind of consists of, 2 books and a gamification card. So you get the entire kit at a discounted rate at 81,000 rupees. So 45 set of them, you get end-to-end teachers training for all levels, followed by examination and a certificate. Apart from that, you get a support from all the marketing collaterals that you want to. Say, for example, if you want to customize, if you want to design it, if you are not sure, you have never done this before, how to promote yourself, we take care of the onboarding part of it. So the onboarding of the SmartyKids learning of Abacus and also onboarding on the operational side of how would you actually work and how would you promote yourself. That's also being taken care of, apart from the entire like 500 plus of library content, which you can use for other activities as well in the current center that you're looking at. The couple of advantages of Smarty, I would say, and I've seen few of our existing partners encashing or leveraging that, is that Smarty does not come with a certain checklists that you have to have these much of square feet of place. You do not need to necessarily have a very high-end infrastructure to start your classes. So even if you are running some kind of a centers in the morning, even if it's a preschool, you can utilize the same space in the evening hours. We take care of all the customization of standees, banners. We take care of all these things. Of course, in a soft copy, we'll supply you. You can get it locally printed and get it done. All right. We're just waiting for more questions for the evening, please. Okay. If you want to like to schedule a call, you can definitely scan on this. And I will just quickly showcase the certificate once more. So this is a certificate, is an initiation by the Knotral team. We want to make sure that we thank you for your presence. This is a certificate of participation for you being here. So please do fill out the link, or you can scan the code wherein you can fill in out the details. Will help you to give out the participant certificate. Apart from whatever questions that you have, I or one of my team members or anybody would love to address this. Now I open the floor for questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask as many as questions that you have. You can start with anything that can be, and trust me, no questions is silly or stupid. Question is a question. You just clarify all your doubt. And I just want to make sure that once you leave this call this evening, you should be confident enough and you should, give it a thought sink into the process and see if this is something that you want to pursue, if this is something that you want to implement on a real-time basis. Yes. Please start typing in the questions. Okay, I see one questions. How reselling model works? Of course, Gururaj, I was absolutely up for this question. So the reselling model, obviously, it's in a bulk buy. How the resellers functions and how the distributor functions is a little different from how B2B functions. So definitely the pricing, the entire pointers, how would you kind of do the marketing bit? This is something a different discussions altogether. I'll take it up to you on a one-on-one basis, which the call that is lined up tomorrow for you. Any more questions for the evening, please? I have, thanks Gururaj, thanks for the thumbs up. Sonia, Ambika, Madhumita, of course. I have somebody joined as Bizarre Buzz. Sheetal, any more questions? Uzma, Praveen Kumar. I would love to hear questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions if you have, which we can address. Thank you so much, Swapan, for the thumbs up. Thank you, Sonia. Thanks a ton. How much can we charge for the parents for inquiring? That's a very good question. Thank you so much, Madhumita. Thank you for that question. So, what you can charge. Now, for example, each book costs you, say, I'm giving you an example. Say, for example, it's going to cost you, say, 2,000 rupees for the entire kit. Now, this entire books would be used for the entire level, which can last anywhere between 3 to 4 months or maybe 5 months, depending on, breaks and examinations and holidays and festivals, etc. So ballpark, let's consider 4 months for that matter. What is going to cost you per month is 500 rupees for the book set. Now, typically in India, or what we have seen in the trend that a student prefers to take 2 hours of physical classes every week. That can be over the weekend, that can be on the evening hours, however you want to plan it. And you can make your batches based on the age specific, group specific, or timing specific for that matter. Apart from the books, apart from your investment into the books and materials, you're actually giving them live sessions. So our existing partners start charging from anything between 1,350 to 2,000 rupees. And one of our partners do charge 5,000 rupees also per month. Now, why I'm saying this and why I'm specifying these numbers, because there are certain other things also which makes a difference is one, the timing. Second, the teacher's experience. So obviously, if you are actually recruiting somebody with a lot of experience, with a lot of patience, obviously the criteria that you're supposed to meet. Apart from that, the infrastructure, the area. Now, for example, if I have to give an example of, say, Bangalore, if anybody is from Bangalore, okay. Now, if you are starting your classes in a place like Indranagar, which is supposedly a posh area, you will going to charge because the rentals are high, the infrastructure, the space, the parking space, everything matters. Those things are pretty expensive. So obviously you can charge anything between 2,000 to 3,000 rupees a month, or maybe more for that matter. But similarly, if you're going to kickstart your classes somewhere in outskirts, say in Hosur for that matter. Now Hosur is also developed though, but there you cannot charge 2,000, 3,000 rupees because based on your neighborhood. Always remember one thing, guys, that any kind of physical classes, your main audiences are actually coming and taking the classes between the 3 to 5 kilometers of radius. These are the people who will be coming to you. Now you have to analyze the pricing and the charges based on the audiences or based on the parents who are coming to you. So I hope that answers your question, Madhumita. Obviously, I am lined up with a call with one-on-one with you, and obviously we'll have a detailed discussion about it. But based on if you want to add up, say, certain goodies with them, you want to give a bag to them, you want to give an abacus tool to them. So just to let you know, for all of you who have been part of it, we do have a lot of goodies, or rather welcome kit, what we call, which has a bag, which is an abacus tool. We have a water bottle, we have a cap. That's a welcome kit which we have designed, but again, that's an optional. If you think that you want to utilize this and you want to, kind of promote it, which is a very, very organic way to market yourself in the neighborhood. You are feel free to do so. If you think no, books is something that I want to kickstart and see how it goes, if you want to customize it locally, it is completely based on your discretion. You guys are an expert. You guys understand your audiences more than we do. And of course, we're there to help you with that. All right. Thanks. Thank you so much for that, Smiley. Any more questions that I can help you? Any more questions that Nick can answer? Any of my team member would love to help and address or any of the questions that you have. I hope you have filled out the form for your certificates. And of course, we would love to connect on one-on-one discussions tomorrow and of course next week as well. So you can expect a call from me or any of my team members who will reach out to you. And yes, please do give us a feedback, do give us a suggestions so we can keep on improving ourselves and we can make sure that we can address as many as questions that we can for you today. All right.
Olvika, I would suggest like if we can mention just something about Smarty Universe.
Yes, obviously. Thank you so much, Ayan, for putting that up. I'm really sorry for the technical glitches. I could not play the video, but Smarty Universe is a digital platform. Nick, would you like to add something verbally because the audios aren't playing, so can just add something into that?
I think I can do something better. I can even share my screen.
Yes, that would be lovely.
I can even show it, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So here, can you see?
We see a blank screen. It's loading up. Yes, it's done. Up and running.
Now we see, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how the Smarty universe looks like, basically. But right now, I don't have any lessons in this profile. I don't have any scheduled lessons. I don't have anything here, but I can just show you a quick overview of the whole universe, let's say, the online platform, basically. So here on the top right, we have basically the profile of the teacher. You can see here it's a teacher. And here on the question mark, we can start a tour where the platform basically tours us between everything you should know about the platform, about how to use it, what are the benefits, and how to give homework and such things. So I'm going to skip it for now, but every single time when you log in, you have the question mark pop-up icon here ready to be clicked. And if you have something that you don't understand, you can always click it. But it is the first time you log in, it is necessary. I mean, the platform automatically clicks it and basically starts a tour even if you don't click it. Okay, so the main page basically are the lessons here, which are scheduled for your upcoming lessons. And here is your calendar where they will be shown when you schedule them. And you can even choose a class that you want to choose for the upcoming scheduled lesson, basically. Here are your students. Here I have only 2 because it's my working account. It's not for the kids. Here you can add a student, and you will add the name, the surname, date of birth, city, and basically all these things are done by the parents. So when a kid attends a class and the kid comes to a demo lesson, you will give the parent a sheet of paper where they put their names and some of their information like email and such things, where you need to use this information for the kids to use it as a platform for the account. So basically, when you create a student's account, you don't use a student's email for the kid because they obviously don't have one. You use the parent's email, you choose the language that they want to use, their gender, and so on. So that's basically all of the students that are you're currently teaching, and you can move them through classes. These are the progression, some of the progression for some of the games, which I'll show you. Here are all of the classes. So basically, when you create a student's account, you just put it in the class you want to put it in, and you can create, of course, new groups and new groups. So what about the games? We click on the mental arithmetic. You'll basically have only this one. Here we have all the games which you need to use in order for the full beneficial course or the program for the kids. You have a mental count, columns, dual screen, multiplication, division, obviously R level or T level when you reach it, abacus, flashcards, shorty table, squares and square roots. These are for Y level. All of the games have a purpose, of course. My favorite one is mental counts, where every kid, basically when you start the countdown, you can see numbers pop in the screen, and the students just mentally calculate them. Even adding, subtracting, you can multiply, you can divide. It doesn't matter. That's how they learn to mentally solve problems. Not only that, but that's a very good, useful tool. And a very important thing, we have a task generator where you don't have to think about exams, about anything. You just basically put everything you want here. For example, I want 10 examples with 5 add-ons, and I just click generate, and here they are, 10 completely random examples for direct counting to 9. So depending on which level the kid is, or which formula it is learning right now, you just click the formula, for example, +9 equals -1 + 10 here, and you, for example, generate again, and here everything is with the formulas, +9 equals -1 + 10. So that's a very good method for the kids to get to know better of the current lesson they are on. I think that's a quick introduction for the platform. There are many things that you can track, you can see, you can give homework to the students. So basically everything is everything you can see from the tool here. But that's the quick overview.
Yeah. And I think just to add on that, there is an administrative panel, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, wherein we can pull out the data and we can see what such students have been up to.
You're talking about what?
So the teachers can actually extract the progress report or the progress of the student.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's very important and critical, especially when you're actually catering to large number of students. So all the resellers, distributors who have been part of this call, I think this is also very critical for you to understand. For example, if you outsource it to a particular school and you want to see the real-time usage, the use case in the schools, and that's very critical and important. So, and of course, the journals and everything, it's really interesting. I have tried playing it myself, and I kind of hooked up on this for hours, and keep on doing a lot of things which is generally not very interesting in mathematics.
Yeah, so basically here, depending on which month you're on, the progress bar shows you how many mental count correct answers they have from how many examples, the columns, the dual screen, all of the games, basically everything is shown here. And if they don't do a homework, it displays here as a red box. So you know that the kid didn't do his homework, or the green box where the kid obviously did their homework. So you can track everything they do, how like with what success rate they do it, and how many times they do it, what time they put in these things.
Absolutely. I was actually talking to one of the teachers, interestingly, and they said that, maths is the only subject wherein it doesn't have stories. It's very, raw, wherein it's just more about numbers, and not all of the students, especially and it's not a fear of mathematics in India. I see this as a global problem wherein all the parents are struggling for kids to fall in love with maths. But I think Abacus and mental arithmetic with an add-on gamifications and gamified and storyline, it makes it really interesting. So they want to come back and learn something in a new method and ways. And just to add on a fact to all of the audiences this evening, we want the abacus or mental arithmetic to be introduced in an initial age, at a very early age of the student. The reason being that what they learn at the initial primary years, that's going to last long for rest of their life, and especially kids who are at, they have the capability of learning several languages and several languages of mathematics too. It retains and it helps them to be a much more stronger student academically and of course on a personal level too. So wrapping up for the evening, any more questions, any last questions of the evening, please feel free to type in. And definitely we're going to catch up for a detailed conversation very soon. Do let us know your feedback, your overall understanding, anything that you would like to improvise, anything that you guys want to see more on Smarty. We would love to come back to you with a presentation next month. So thank you so much. I think you have been a lovely audience and really, really patient. Sorry about the technical part wherein the videos were not audible, but thank you so much for all your time and patience this evening. Thanks a ton, Nick, for being with us. It was really wonderful having you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you also.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Ayan. Thanks, Vivek. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madhavita. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Praveen. Do you have a question? Yes, tell me. Would you like to unmute yourself or would you like to, I've just given an option to unmute if you want to unmute yourself and ask questions. CRS students, I'm not really sure what you mean by CRS students. If you're comfortable, you can unmute yourself and ask. Yes, tell me.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Praveen, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. It's applicable for CRS students also.
What's CRS
CRS
student?
means critical students like that in our Podar Institute, the co-education system is there. So CRS students also can learn this.
You mean to
If
say
any
specially abled child?
special able children's. It's any
Yes.
different sub-curriculum is there?
No. That's a very good question,
Same.
Praveen. No.
Yeah, okay.
But the only thing I have seen in one of our existing outlet, there were a couple of students, they were actually specially differently able student.
In
Now,
our school also, so many students are there. So that's why I'm asking.
the only couple of differences what we will have is that they will, again, if it's a differently able student, everybody's, I would say the challenges are different from each other. Every student there is special. Some has a learning disability, some has, memory issues. So based on their, I would say understanding and knowledge and strength, it is definitely implementable. The only thing is that they will take a longer period of time to complete each level.
Yes, okay.
But I can assure you one thing for sure, regardless of however differently able they are, the digital platform, the visualization keeps a larger impact and a longer impact compared to actual books. So Smarty Universe can actually work wonders in that case. I think you should definitely, start with a pilot and see how it, the feedbacks and the feedback which comes from the parents as well.
You'll actually be surprised of how good it works. I personally have a kid with special needs, and it's actually very good. Like their brain is just functioning different, but yeah, specifically in this sphere, I can assure you it is working. It is working.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Praveen, for that question. Thank you.
Yes, okay.
I hope you filled out the form. We can have a chat around it. No worries.
I filled out it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We are already overshot the time. We are at 7 past 12. Thank you so much. We'll be wrapping up for this evening. Thank you, Mudasir, Jyoti, Uzma, of course, Bazaar Buzz. I'm not really sure what's your name. And yes, Ayan and team, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks a ton, Nick. Have a lovely evening ahead. Thank you.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.